All right, so Matt Gaetz was on the Pandemic War Room, I think it's called, with Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, who might be getting charged in New York. We might talk about that tomorrow. Because, like, I have a fucking jam-packed show here tonight. We'll let them have their ads so we can get to this Matt Gaetz video.
And there were some among us who checked to see whether we could be the ones to go defend him in the Senate, because we would be honored to. And the word we got back from House Ethics...
Now, I brought that up. I brought up the idea of Ted Cruz defending him in the impeachment trial, because Ted Cruz had offered to defend him in the Supreme Court. So I wondered if one of the sitting members would be allowed to defend Trump. And apparently, Gaetz had that idea and asked the House managers about it.
To go defend him in the Senate, because we would be honored to. And the word we got back from House Ethics...
Well, if they really wanted to get at Mike Pence, they should have butt-fucked him. You give him the old Garrison, you're saying. Or give him a sheiky baby. Fuck him in the ass and make him humble.
To go defend him in the Senate, because we would be honored to. And the word we got back from House Ethics is that we could not, as sitting members of the House,
already run that by
go and defend him in the Senate.
Okay, so you know this better, and your theory of this is exactly mine. Go to the low-hanging fruit. Would you then step down from Congress? Would you resign in order to defend the president on the way that you want to defend him?
I love my district. I love representing them. But I view this cancellation of the Trump presidency and the Trump movement as one of the major risks to my people, both in my district and all throughout this great country. Absolutely. If the president called me and wanted me to go defend him on the floor of the Senate, that would be the top priority in my life.
Donald, please, please, please call Congressman Matt Gaetz. Please give Gaetz a... Fuck. He lives in Florida. Go over to his place. You both live in Florida. Do it. Make it happen. I would love to see Matt Gaetz resign. I would love to see the shit show of Gaetz defending Trump on the floor of the Senate. But I mean, he has his legal team in place. They have their arguments. So it's kind of a little late to transition to Gaetz. Just the threat of AOC running against Schumer has made Schumer act like he's got some balls, so I greatly appreciate that. I don't know if it's time for AOC. I don't know what her plans are. I don't know if she's keeping options open for 2024. If there is an open primary and Kamala Harris is the vice president running in a primary. I don't know. But the threat of her possibly running against Chuck Schumer has made the Democrats come out swinging, and I greatly appreciate that. And the Biden administration, for all its faults, has done some really bold things in the first fucking week. But anyway, back to Gaetz and how much he wants to suck Trump's cock.
I would leave my house seat. I would leave my home. I would do anything I had to do to ensure that the greatest president in my lifetime, one of the greatest presidents our country has ever had, maybe the greatest president our country has ever had, got a full-throated defense that wasn't... See?
He's... I literally said he wanted to suck his cock. He described, to a T, sucking his cock, a full-throated defense. That's what Matt Gaetz wants to give Donald Trump.
Wasn't in fear of losing some moderate Republican senator, but that was worthy of the fight that he gave to the great people of this country for 4 years.
The people of, I think, your district would overwhelmingly support you if you said, I'm going to step down to go defend the president against the stealing of this election. I don't think there's any question.
Please do it. Please do it. I am begging you. But fucking Republicans are liars, so...
Susan, you know...
So this is from Sunday. And they're talking about Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney, the daughter of Dick Cheney. Congressperson from Wyoming who is third in the House leadership for the Republicans. Voted for impeachment, voted against Donald Trump, is ready to move on. And they're wanting to censure her for it. On the flip side, the Democrats are demanding that they take action against Marjorie Taylor Greene. But the Republicans want to take action against fucking Liz Cheney.
We've got a situation right now where there is more visible outrage inside the GOP over Liz Cheney, a member of leadership, voting to impeach the president, over rather than some of these wild conspiracy theories being espoused by Marjorie Taylor Greene. How serious is this for the GOP, and what can they do about it? I mean, they take her off committees, expel.
And I just saw some right-wing assholes bitching about how they hated the fact that Chris Wallace gets to moderate debates. They don't think that Chris fucking Wallace is far enough right. He's like the only voice of reason on Fox News. He's still a fucking asshole conservative.
What are their options here?
Well, I think you're right. I think it tells you a lot about where the Republican Party is right now, that Liz Cheney is undoubtedly going to face a primary fight the next time she's up for election, that she has there's at least a possibility that she is going to lose her place in the House leadership because of this vote of conscience she took. While Republicans in private express concern about Marjorie Taylor Greene, not many of them are willing to speak up.
Because they've got no balls.
That is being seriously considered is taking her off the Education Committee, which is something I think that probably is not even a slap on the wrist. Doesn't do anything to stop her.
She should be expelled.
Views. You know, you think about, there are big wounds on Capitol Hill from the January 6th assault on Congress. That's what you heard from Nancy Pelosi when she was talking to reporters in the clip you played. This is the kind of language we have not heard from Capitol Hill since the Civil War, and it's not over yet.
Absolutely disgusting. I think that's who we're going to continue talking about here. No. We're still on Matt Gaetz, who went to Wyoming over the weekend. Went to Liz Cheney's backyard.
I love Wyoming!
What a piece of shit.
I think if Liz Cheney had a rally with all of her supporters, they could likely meet inside one of the elevators in the Capitol and still have plenty of room for social distancing.
But I mean, think about how crazy this is. This is a Florida congressperson going to Wyoming to, I guess it's in her district. I don't know if it's just like in the state capital or whatever. But going to Wyoming to be antagonistic. Man, I don't even know like fucking how many Congress people does Wyoming have. They might only have one congressperson. I don't know how many people live in Wyoming. It's not a lot. But he goes to Wyoming to taunt her. Another Republican and part of leadership. I have never seen this in my life. The entire time I have been alive, or at least since I've been following politics, been old enough to know what's going on, the Gingrich revolution of the 90s, the Republicans have been in like 100% lockstep. And that if there have been internal strife or conflict, they've kept it on the down low. So this is wild to me that this motherfucker travels to Wyoming. Wait, they have three. They have three. What? Gonna let her bring her gun into jail after she gets locked up. She's not gonna get locked up. What, the QAnons? I think it's more. I think there are far more crazy people. Oh, 3 Congress people in Wyoming. I'm sorry. Thank you, Scrappy. I appreciate that. If I ask that question, I really do appreciate an answer. Thank you for responding. Because I'm really curious, and I know I'm sitting here behind a computer and everything, but it's kind of hard to go Googling shit when you're, doing a show. Don Jr. almost crying. Is that a new one? Because, I've got, we did an old video of Don Jr. almost crying. He fucking cried the morning that Trump left.
Andrew, his first day as a state representative was yesterday, and he invited me to be here with all of you today. I'd say that's a pretty good start for the young man.
Shoot me the link and we'll do it at the end.
I'll confess to you, this is my first time in Wyoming. I've been here for about an hour, and I feel like I already know the place a lot better than your misguided representative, Liz Cheney.
Listen to that shit. What a little dickhead.
My grandfather was a small town mayor in not too distant North Dakota. He passed before his time, but not before passing into legend. And he passed.
Now, this is a super dick move, but don't think I'm not enjoying the fuck out of this.
Along a little wisdom to my dad. My old man calls it prairie populism. Do right by your people. Never sell out. Fight their dislikes. And never let the powerful run over the weak. Inspire people through courage and tell the truth.
He is the weak.
Is that the establishment
And he has stuck up Donald Trump's ass.
Parties have teamed up to screw our fellow Americans for generations.
Fucking goes to Wyoming. I mean, at least he's got a pair. There's a piece in Politico where a reporter describes it as an absolutely wild day. My wild day in Wyoming with Matt Gaetz. Okay, so this is by 4 reporters. When the opportunity arose to fly across the country to see whether a slick-suited 30-something congressman from Florida could stage a substantive rally in the name of Donald Trump in the district of a thrice-elected congresswoman with next-level name recognition, I knew I couldn't resist. And you know what? Matt Gaetz pulled it off. Yeah, holy shit, he pulled it off. On the steps of the Wyoming State House on Thursday, at least 800 people were chanting USA, USA. While the GOP upstart, joined by Donald Trump Jr. via phone, blasted the state's... This says the state's only congresswoman. Oh, maybe only congresswoman. They've got 2 congressmen. Only Congresswoman Liz Cheney. It was a pocket-sized crowd compared to an actual Trump rally, but the maskless baby boomers and red MAGA caps emitted the same feverish voltage. My takeaway, after an admittedly short stay and small sample size, if Cheney were up for re-election in 2021 instead of 2022, she'd be in serious trouble. It was hard to find anyone that would defend Cheney. It wasn't easy to get people to talk to me with my mask on. I had to shout many times that I didn't want to get COVID-19. Some people actually said they wouldn't speak to me unless I removed my mask. When they uttered the name Liz Cheney, an employee behind the cash register at Harbor Freight Tools hurled a threatening epithet. Then a beefy and tattooed supervisor came over mad as hell. His mask hung below his nose when he told me I don't think she spoke for Wyoming. Millionaire can't afford a megaphone. Price never votes in the primaries, but said he will in August 2022 to oust Cheney. So definitely check that piece out about the wild day. As I said, that's something I've never seen before out of Republicans. But it speaks to the rift that's going on. And right now it really looks like the Marjorie Taylor Greene wing is ascendant.